Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a Stitch With Me test run where I'm just trying to see how this setup is and if it will work because, I want to try and make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing without like my hand being directly in the way, but then I also need to be able to see what I'm stitching, and so just trying to see how this setup is going to be so that going forward I know if this will work. I am stitching on the Witcher chart from Thread Geeks. It is artwork by Ina. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I will link it down below. And this chart comes in 3 different sizes: the regular, a large, and an extra large, but I am stitching the large because I want the finished size to be similar to my Yennefer chart, because I just want them to be the same size for some reason, because that will be cute to just have them hanging together similar sized. I am stitching this on 25 count 2/1 tent stitch, and I am stitching all the black first, which is kind of easy for this chart because there's not that many stitches of black. There was under 10,000 black stitches, and I have 5,400 stitches left, so there wasn't that many. It wasn't that hard of a choice. I know with Yennefer it's gonna be, I don't think I'm gonna do all the black first, because for Yennefer she has like 30,000 stitches of black because a lot of her background is a lot darker, plus her hair is dark, and so it would be too much black, and I don't think I want to do that. But I do think that when I start her, I am going to start with the black in the bottom right corner, because the black is like the top part of her dress, so it will give like a similar silhouette effect to this chart, so I think it'll be cool to kind of see them stitched with like the bottom black part together, where you can just kind of see the outlines of their clothes. I think it will look cool. Maybe it won't, we'll see. And so for Yennefer though, I will say that I'm actually cropping the chart, and I actually was working on that last night, trying to figure out how much to crop to make it so that the finished size will be the same as the Witcher chart. I ended up, I think, cutting like 30 stitches off from the left side, and then it was only like 6 rows off of the bottom, so that wasn't too bad. And then I had to use Pattern Keeper, and I marked off all the stitches that I was going to be cropping off, so that's going to be already marked off. And it ended up cropping, like my cropped version is now like 15,000 stitches less, which will be nice. That's like months of stitching that I just cut off from that chart, and it was just basically all like background stuff anyway, so you're not going to lose any of like the details. So that will be nice. And then for stitching on gridded fabric, for anyone who's never stitched on like the pre-gridded fabric, is you have to kind of pick for the gray lines if your 10 by 10 block is going to start on the gray line or if it will end on the gray line. So for me, my 10 by 10 rows, they start on the gray line. So, and that's just kind of how I've always done it, because then I don't have to like mark for each chart what it is. And so for like this row that I'm stitching right now, it is technically the 3rd row of the 10 by 10 block. So this would be the 1st row right here. This would be stitch 1 of my 10 by 10 block. This would be the 2nd row, and then this is the 3rd row. But then if you count, hold on, let's count in this empty block. So I will start here. This is the top of my row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can see that you're technically ending on a white, and then the gray line is right below it. So like I said, I'm always starting my 10 by 10 block on the gray line, and then I end on the white above the gray line. So if you're ever just trying to like count over stitches, you can always just use those gray lines to help you. Like if this weren't all stitched in black, right, and these 2 rows, then I could be like, okay, there's a stitch in black that is on like the 1st left row, so I know that will be on the gray line, and then it is 1 stitch up from the bottom, so this would be the bottom of the 10 by 10 block, and then I would go up 1, and that would be where that next stitch would go, but there's a lot more black in between there, so I don't have to count that. But it just makes it a lot easier for counting when you have those little lines there for you. I am hoping that this is actually like in focus, but like I said, I will find out afterwards. It will be interesting to see how it works. But yeah, so we'll see. But if it works, then like I said, I plan on doing a like start with me. I can do other stitch with me's. There could be, people could ask questions. I could answer questions. It could be a fun little thing. Does anyone even have any questions? If you have a question, leave it down below and it could possibly be answered if I do another stitch with me. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this works. But yeah. The one thing that's nice about stitching all the black first is it is just going so quick. You don't have to like worry about like what color will I stitch next. You just grab more black and stitch away. It's an endless sea of black though. It's like there we go. What time is it anyways? It is 1:11. I have to leave at 1:30 because apparently even though school doesn't end until 2, you're supposed to get to the school at 1:30. You're not supposed to. I'm just being sarcastic. Parents get to the school at 1:30 to wait 30 minutes for their kids to get out of school, and if you don't get there 30 minutes early, then you will just have to wait in a super long line to pick your kid up, and then your kid is waiting in the cold, and then they're all just annoyed, like, why were you so late? And it's like, I wasn't late, everyone else is just here very early. Hopefully with their cars turned off, because gas is ridiculous. It's like a precious commodity. Gas is just like gold nowadays. Like there's so many jokes about like how do you know you're rich, and it's like someone filling their car up and it's like ha 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 as you cry at the gas station. Ah, I am marking off the wrong stitches. That is not helpful. All right, I think that I will end this one here because like I said, I'm just trying to test, see how this is. You can leave feedback. Could you see what I'm doing? Were my big old hands in the way the whole time and I need to like rethink this whole setup? Let me know what you think of the setup. Any questions or comments for a next video, and I will hopefully be back sometime soon with another video where I start my Yennefer chart. Hold on, where is Yennefer? Okay, my laptop is on Yennefer, so we're not getting her out. I was going to show my cropped version, but I'll show that in the next video, I guess. So, thank you anyone who watched this video. I mean, it wasn't the greatest because, like I said, I'm just trying to test this out, get a feel for what it's like to do this, and yeah, I'll see everyone in the next video. I hope you all are doing well. Bye!